Welcome back to Newsday. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, has been disqualified from contesting in the upcoming general election scheduled for May, as announced by the country's Electoral Commission. The commission did not provide a specific reason for the disqualification, but it is widely speculated that Zuma's 2021 conviction and subsequent imprisonment for contempt of court have rendered him ineligible for candidacy. Zuma's involvement with the newly formed Mxolisi party, which he backs, has been viewed as a potential challenge to the ruling African National Congress, where he commanded enormous influence as a member before he was suspended. The 81-year-old Zuma served as South Africa's president from 2009 to 2018. Arise News South Africa analyst Mxolisi Masango now links up with us to discuss this unfolding situation and how it might shape the electoral race. It's great to see you, Mxolisi. Looking forward to this conversation. Now, let's get straight into it. Jacob Zuma has already served the constitutional 2 terms in office as given by South Africa's Chapter 5. So is this disqualification relevant in any way? You know, what's the significance of this development?
So, first of all, we will have to just take it back to some of the preconditions that allow any candidate to contest for public office or to contest to be on a ballot box in any case. So it would seem like right now he does not meet one of the conditions, which says that this person must be a fit and proper person, which also means that this person must not have a conviction or a prior conviction to all of that. And also, as you rightfully also mentioned in your intro, that, speculation across the board is rife that the IEC decided, to let him go from the ballot paper because he still faces that 2021 conviction, because he's got essentially he's been rendered to have a criminal record for that contempt of court case that he faced back in 2021, which subsequently led to the July unrest that we saw here in the country. So talk is that now the IEC is first of all looking for fit and proper people to contest for public office, but to also have people that don't have previous convictions in order for them to meet those requirements of being fit and proper. So those are now the conversations that are doing the rounds right now in the country as to what might have led the IEC of actually deeming the former statesman unfit to be running for election.
Very good, Mxolisi. Now, how popular is the MK party in South Africa and as an opposition to the ruling ANC, you think?
Tell you what, it has really moved South Africa. As we're even having this conversation, happen to have seen as they continue to crisscross the country right now, because we are seeing most political parties tying the knots and bolts to their manifesto launches. And this is in order to woo supporters ahead of that May 29 election. Now, what analysts are pointing to is that this MK party might even eat onto the votes of the ANC in the highly contested KwaZulu-Natal province in the country, as well as some provinces as well, because we've seen when it comes to mobilization, the Mxolisi party has been hard at work over the past couple of months. In fact, since it was announced that there's a party such as MK party, people were very quick to jump the bandwagon, first of all, because of the face that represents the MK party. And we've also been seeing and hearing word throughout social media since that announcement that the president would not be able to be contesting for office. We've seen how people of the MK party have even went as far as threatening on social media to say that they will be taking to the IEC office to go and protest, as we've seen some of these parties such as Arise, Zanzi as well, taking to the IEC office to say that they need this decision revised, because if you're going to have a person who's a symbol of the party, a person that is essentially the face of the party, not be represented on the ballot, what does this say about the election itself? What does it say about the party? But I can tell you right now, the MK party has shaken most political parties, even most people coming out to say that this is a force to be reckoned with, seeing where the ruling party stands now with most South Africans who are just dying to have another alternative right now. Well, to look how they will be voting come the 29th of May is going to be another conversation.
Absolutely. And, in light of that development, in light of what's looking like an ANC that's shaken up and worried about the road to May 29th, the word conspiracy, of course, is flying around. That this ruling from the IEC is a political conspiracy, number one. The second, of course, being this car crash, which, thank God, Jacob Zuma survived, that took place in the early hours of this morning with accusations and speculation that this was a targeted attack. How much of a conspiracy do you think currently exists against the person of Jacob Zuma?
Well, interestingly that you also raised that, because literally before we got into our conversation right now, I was listening to the MK party spokesperson who actually said they felt that that car crash was not necessarily an accident, because this particular car that crashed on the former statesman motorcade was actually targeting the car that had the former statesman, and actually went as far as to ask, how did they know where the former statesman was, in which car he was, subsequently saying and alluding that, it could have been a targeted hit at the former statesman. So it's been a pattern, it's been a trend, to say the least. We've seen even throughout the course of when he was being called out on his lack of accountability, former president has always been quick to say that he's being victimized, he's being singled out of all people. So we've seen that victim card always come up, if not most of the times, always come out. But also in a time where conversations are being had about accountability, even in Parliament. During his tenure, we would hear he would also be going back to say that these were his detractors, really trying to, pull the wool over people's eyes because he's being victimized, he's being singled out, so this is nothing new really when it comes to the former statesman. And it really remains to be seen as to how long he can continue playing this card. But what I can tell you right now, looking at the cards and how they've been placed right now in terms of mobilization, we've seen the MK party being visible in all corners of the country, in the townships as well, such as Alexandra. We've seen how they've really bolstered and come out with some serious muscle in terms of getting the numbers. Whether will those numbers transform to them getting a certain number for Parliament, it remains to be seen.
Now, reports indicate increasing tensions towards the polls. Some party leaders had previously threatened violence if Mr. Zuma was barred from contesting the polls, as it were. So what more are you hearing from such narratives, you think?
No, that's truly baseless. Those could also be fear-mongers. What I really appreciate about our country right now is it's a robust democracy that allows everyone to really lend a voice in the public discourse. It would be sad, to say the least, to see violence flare up like we've seen back in 2021, because we did have some people who threatened violence if the former statesman is excluded from the ballot. This would also be an indictment on the hard-fought democracy that South Africa prides itself on. I mean, we're just on the cusp of 30 years into democracy as a country. And I think the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, rightfully also said, I think some few days ago, when responding to this question that you just asked me right now, that this will be a serious indictment on the 30 years of hard-earned freedom, where you would have people to say that, listen, if we cannot have a certain person on a ballot, then we will run amok, we will take to the streets, we will cause havoc. He said that, South Africans should really not do that. He was also trying to quell tensions, because people do favor the former statesman as well. He is quite a crowd favorite. But to even go as far as saying that there are people that are currently now also threatening violence, it would really be an indictment on our hard-earned democracy. So really right now, South Africans as well as other people have been urged to exercise their democratic right. And that begins with them going to the polls come the 29th of May to voice their frustrations, to voice their dissatisfaction, but to also correct the wrongs of the past.
Right. Now, this battle is not coming just against Jacob Zuma as an individual. Mxolisi as a party is also having to answer to the ANC in court about the intellectual property rights of the name Mxolisi. Now, is this a case that you think will hold water? Where do you see this going? And again, is it a significant development, or are these all just distractions on the campaign trail?
Look, listening to the General Secretary of the ruling party, he did come out strongly to say that they feel that this is a trademark and a name that belongs to the ruling party. They feel that the word MK, resonates with those struggle icons that laid the foundations for the democracy that we currently enjoy right now as a party. And we've seen this battle play out in court. And first of all, we've seen that first application by the ruling party, which was subsequently dismissed, where you heard the court saying that they can go ahead, with the party MK in its form as it is. So right now, you would say that this is a battle that is really unfolding and playing out at a very crucial time, but also the ruling party on the other end saying that they will not go down without a fight, and they will continue to defend and protect the name MK, which actually resonates with the struggle for the freedom of many South Africans, the struggle that saw democracy in the country come out, and that the democracy that many South Africans enjoy currently.
Well, Mxolisi, thank you so much for that great analysis. I'm pretty sure the next couple of months are going to have a lot more dramatic developments for us to unpack. Thanks again.